Ladies and gentlemen, K-Kim here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is down. S&P is down about 0.65%. I think the NASDAQ is down. How much is NASDAQ down today? Oh, NASDAQ is actually flat. NASDAQ is flat. I do believe banks got hit 2%, and then everything else around that 0.5, 0.6% area throughout the day. Not a huge down day, a little pullback after some big rallies we've seen last couple weeks here. So let's check this out and trying to figure out what we can expect here going forward. So it looks like this is where we ended yesterday, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, actually, this is where it ended yesterday, right? So this was the first hour. We opened pretty much flat, came down here, and then we were hanging around for about 3-4 hours, right above that my short-term moving average there, that squiggly line. We're hanging around just in that vicinity. We finally lost it, and then it came down. And it is no accident or coincidence that we are seeing some slowdown right on that gap area. We talked about how the gap area, either the gap area is going to act as support or the gap fill is going to act as support. Pretty much this entire level is going to provide support. Currently, though, we do have a 349.51 level as acting as support. This was the 5th hour. And then the last hour, as you can see, it looks like we actually did try to get up here on the last wire, but faded. It looked like we have what it looks like potentially a inverted hammer. An inverted hammer can be sort of like a reversal candle if we do see a follow through. So if this is going to be like a 3-day bullish reversal candle, so what you would see is you will see a bearish candle after some down move, right? And then you'll see that inverted hammer, kind of like potentially bullish harami also, that little body there. And then what you want to see is a bullish green candle like this in the first hour. And that's not enough. You want to see a follow through. And then on the second hour, you want to see another bullish candle and close the second hour with a bullish candle, and there's a good chance we could see a bullish day tomorrow if we do see this kind of scenario. So bullish hammer or inverted hammer itself, it means nothing as of now. It's just that we are seeing, price kind of stalling right on that gap 349.50. So if we do see a bullish move, first and second hour, taking out and reclaiming 351-ish area and hold above it on the second hour, there's good chance we could have a bullish day tomorrow. If not, if we continue to fall down, then I think once this gap starts to get breached, I think then at the time bears probably want to completely fill this gap. And at the time, 346 is going to act as support. Currently, price is below my short-term moving average. So going into tomorrow, this is going to be the micro-term pivotal area. But what I would really do is I would do this, kind of put that resistance right on top of this candle right here, because for the candlestick analysis that I've just done for you, for the bullish reversal pattern to work out, it needs to get above 3. You know what? Let's put that. So I think for that 3-day or 3-hour bullish reversal candle pattern to play out, it will need to get above 351 and stay above it on the second hour, right? Here, it's a little bit vulnerable level only if bears gapping it down hard. So let's say if bears bring it down, they would have to do more than 1% gap down tomorrow morning to make this into an island top, right? gap it down more than 1%, and open, let's say it opens like 346.60 or something, like it has to be more than 1%, otherwise it's not going to work. It has to be more than 1% gap down. If we do see more than 1% gap down tomorrow morning, this is going to turn into an island top. You're going to see me putting this into a purple color, and that could get the price to continue to fall, probably filling this gap probably tomorrow, and possibly even coming back down to about 342 there. But again, you know, we don't have that yet. That same analysis is true from here or here. I think I've said the same thing all those times where, you know, you see when the gap gets retested like this, there's always that potential gap down, potential island top, right? But until you see it happening, it's difficult to say at this point, because I think I mentioned it somewhere here also what bears needed to do. Bears wanted to gap it down, that didn't happen. Bears wanted to gap it down, that didn't happen. Bears wanted to gap it down, that didn't happen. Bears wanted to gap it down, that didn't happen. Here again, best bet is for bears are gapping it down. That's where you're gonna see bears can really bring it down to potentially 340-ish area. If just coming it down, filling it, it's gonna act as support, and we will see a bounce at the time. So, you know, I think at this point we're seeing a little bit of pullback, little bit of digestion, you know, and nothing crazy though about that pullback. I mean, we've seen these pullbacks. It's a pretty, you know, normal pullback we're kind of witnessing here, just about 1% or so. You know, usually we've seen about 1 to 2% pullbacks along the way since the late September there. So nothing like, you know, where, you know, you should be worried about. I mean, it could lead to something if we do see island top, potentially, but as of today, we don't have that. So we'll have to come back tomorrow morning and see how the market plays out. Obviously, I'll tweet things out. Let's check out that oscillator. I'll end the video with that. So my oscillator, we did see the oscillator falling back, getting reset, and price is actually pulling back with it. So we are actually kind of seeing the, you know, correcting through price here. And we are finding support right on that gap area at 349.51. But we're not really seeing much of a slowdown in my oscillator. Keep in mind though, you know, I'm gonna get rid of this because we actually broke below it. But I want you to know that it kind of similar thing happened. I remember we were looking at, this was what? This was back in, I think this was here. This was right here. So what I did was, I drew it from here like this. And we talked about the bullish divergence, right? And that's where we found support at 320. We actually bottomed at 320. And then we talked about how market potentially correcting, you know, the oscillator needed to reset, and it did. But market kind of was adamant, holding above the gap area. And at the time, we did slightly break below this support, but it wasn't the end of it. We actually initially finding support on my midterm moving average here, and then continued higher, and then you can see my oscillator cross back up. So despite the fact that, you know, you can see we're breaking below it now, but we kind of did the same thing here. So keep in mind, oscillator is still, you know, the oscillator is still elevated. I think the last support that oscillator might have is here, you know, where it could be oscillating back and forth in that vicinity. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this red line just about somewhere here. I think once we breach below that 49.50 area, then I think oscillators will come back down to back to the lows. And that's what bears actually want to see. Bears do not want to see this oscillator elevated and elevating back and forth. That means this uptrend, this momentum will continue to the upside. So it will be important, I think, going into tomorrow, next couple of days, to see how my oscillator is behaving. Are we going to oscillate back and forth at the top of this band? Or finally, are we going to come back down and retest the bottom of this band, right? If we do see oscillator coming back down, I think you'll see at least this thing filling this gap at 346, maybe a little more. But we'll come back tomorrow night and we'll re-examine. Obviously, despite the fact that we did see some drawdown today, I am still going to label this bullish in the short term, bullish in the midterm, and bullish in the long term, despite the fact that we did see some drawdown there. That's about only 1% correction because we're hanging right on top of the gap area here. And it has been, you know, since it bottomed at 320, you know, when the price hangs around above the gap area, it's been bullish. Maybe this time is different. We don't know that yet, because if you thought this time's different, it wasn't. If you thought this was different, it wasn't. If you thought this was different, it wasn't. Maybe this time's different. We don't know that yet as of today. So we'll come back tomorrow and market will give us a little bit more information. We'll go from there. You guys enjoy your night. Good luck trading next week.